Okay, so my opponent stated that fracking is not actually wasteful, but the Clean Water Campaign staged each well used between 2 and 5 million gallons of locally sourced fresh water, which will be permanently contaminated by ground contaminants and toxic chemicals containing in the fracking fluid. So while agriculture might use more water, it isn't contaminated with many chemicals. Some of these chemicals are methane gas, ammonia, arsenic, chloromethane, iron, manganese, T-butyl alcohol, toluene, and hydrochloric acid. Also, some not so common ones are formaldehyde, acetic acid, citric acid, and boric acids, which are all very harmful in small amounts. So even if they are 2%, these gases have been found to cause reduced visibility, climate change, and destruction of vegetation. And they are not only harmful to the environment, but they are also extremely toxic to humans. They have been linked to cancer, neurological damage, premature death, learning deficits in children, asthma, and pregnancy loss. If we were to so there are several cases where drinking water has been polluted. In April 2011, near Towanda, Pennsylvania, 7 families were evacuated after about 10,000 gallons of wastewater contaminated an agricultural field and a stream that flows into the Susquehanna River, the result of an equipment failure. And the following month, DEP fined Chesapeake Energy $900,000, the largest amount in the state's history, for allowing methane gas to pollute the drinking water of 16 families in Bradford County during the previous year. The DEP noted that there may have been toxic methane emissions from as many as 6 wells in 5 towns. So it doesn't matter how many wells there are, it's still pretty easy to have polluted water. And a ProPublica investigation in 2009 revealed methane contamination was widespread in drinking water in areas around fracking operations in Colorado, Texas, Wyoming, and Pennsylvania. Also, my opponent talked about how that the land isn't being poisoned, and there's several incidents of leaks, some of several thousand gallons, much of was spilled onto roadways and into creeks from highway accidents of tractor trailer carrying wastewater. And she also talked about how diesel fuel is the problem, but it's actually not, and the chemical mixtures of the fracking fluid is the problem. Because in a study, a group tested 68 drinking water wells in the Marcellus and Utica shale drilling areas in the northeastern Pennsylvania and southern New York State. 60 of those wells were tested for dissolved gas, while most of the wells had some methane. The water samples taken closest to the gas wells had on average 17 times the levels detected in wells further from active drilling. The group defined an active drilling area as within 1 kilometer or about 0.6 of a mile from a gas well. So pretty much anyone who was in the vicinity of a gas well had contaminated water. And this is the first official study that has linked natural gas drilling and hydraulic fracturing with a pattern of drinking water contamination so severe that some faucets can be lit on fire. On the topic that it is also extremely harmful to the environment, a methane geyser was discovered in Tioga County, Pennsylvania. They immediately turned to Shell, who was drilling in 3 nearby locations. Shell and the Department of Environmental Protection began investigating, and it was correctly suspected that the abandoned well from the 1930s contributed to the problem. Last week, a new report confirmed that the Butters well drilled in 1932 was part of the chain reaction that triggered the geyser, but the main problem was Shell's fracking, as it displaced methane pockets underground, which then moved into Butters well and shot up to the surface. And fracking also affects other wildlife as well. This should concern anyone who eats meat, whether they hunt it or purchase it indirectly from a farm, which may incidentally be near a fracking well. In addition to degradation of habitat and interference with migration and reproduction, farmers have reported illnesses and death among domestic animals exposed to fracking wastewater. And I think that's it. Thank you.